Hey, eighth grade. Happy gonna be Thursday. I'm filming this a little late Wednesday night before we wrap up the evening. So let's get into pod. Um, Welcome back. If I haven't seen you guys, Happy New Year. I've seen some of you this week, not everybody. I do miss seeing you in pod. With the new year, if you have a moment and you still have your agenda, we attempted to write down some goals for second trimester, right? Two of them, I think, one that's focused on academics and another that's focused on non-curricular stuff, a sport or just something at home. So see how you're doing. Are you making progress towards that goal? If so, great. If not, a new year is a chance to use some momentum and say, I want to do better and making progress towards that goal. So maybe you haven't looked at it since you wrote it, and we're here close to halfway through the trimester. I was just curious how you're doing. Hope you had a great holiday as well, however you and your family celebrated it. Our last core behavior value I want to discuss with you is showing respect. That's our WTMS part. I want you to know that I thought about changing that word to kindness because I worry about the word respect and some people thinking only some folks deserve that we respect has some connotation of, it has to be earned and all of that. To me, I think whoever's here in school, your classmates, your aides, everybody deserves kindness. Certainly, teachers and staff members maybe deserve a little bit more respect, but everybody deserves kindness. Okay. And if you show that, generally that's what you get back, and it'll put you on a pretty good path in your life. All right. So we're going to review real quick what we did last year. Remember, we're working on this book right here. How it shows up there. See it? Hi. A follow-up of sorts to the 7 Habits book that we read last year by the same author. Okay. Talked about 6 decisions that you can make over time that'll be very, very important to you. First one was school. Certainly stay in school, finding your voice and niche within it, finding a path for yourself, and really taking ownership of your future. Whether it's a trade school or a 4-year university or whatever it may be, community college, post-secondary training, something, whether it's even a 1-year certificate after high school, is really a path to success for you. So really making the most out of school, even though it may not be your favorite thing. We just finished up before Christmas with friends in terms of choosing wisely, not letting them change who you are, and being a good friend. Okay, those are the most important takeaways I want you to have there. Now, parents. Okay, he says somewhere in here, and I was going to include it, but I forgot, that he uses parents as just shorthand. Okay, just shorthand for the adults that you live with and care for you, or adult, because we know there's all different types of families, and those families are legitimate. Okay, so whether you're being raised by 2 parents, or there's an aunt and uncle or grandparents involved, all the same. Okay, we're trying to get you to consider your rapport with those old fogies that live at home and take care of you. Why is this included out of the 6 parents? Why do we even have to talk about them? I know at your age it's not the most exciting thing to discuss, right? This is Sean's words about why it's an important thing, and I'm just going to paraphrase because it's late, I'm tired, and I know that you guys probably don't mind shorter videos. They're going to be with you. So you all, I almost said y'all, but I'm not from Texas, but you all are 8th graders. I'm trying to think back on some of the people I was close to friends-wise in 8th grade. And we were, really close, homies, thought that we'd be, friends for a long time. And the last time I probably talked to one of those guys was, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But parents, stick with you. Okay, 10 years from now, they're going to be in your life, guaranteed in some form, some fashion. And they were there in your life, hopefully from the beginning, obviously. So it's a lifelong relationship for the most part, or a good portion of your life. So I think that's reason right there. Okay, friends sometimes do come and go. Just a little preview of these lessons for our parent unit. So we'll talk about, we know a little bit about relationship bank accounts and putting deposits in. We'll look at that specifically through the lens of parents. How to deal with some of the annoying things that they may do to you, like tease you or something in front of your friends or hug you. This is the communication gap. Sean talks about how it sometimes feels like you're speaking a different language, because we're from different generations, right? I know my oldest is only 8, but sometimes communicating with her, it's like, man, she just thinks things so much differently. When she starts making a video and like talking like, hey guys, this is your girl Zoe. I'm like, what is happening? So I don't understand that. And she doesn't necessarily always understand me. So we're going to talk a little bit about how you can close that gap in terms of communication. And then the last one I think is an important one because we're going to talk about and sort of defend parents. And 99% of them are doing their very best to try to love you and support you and give you any kind of wisdom that they've got over the years. But there are rare cases that are a sad reality of life that deal with abuse and toxic parents. And so will be a little lesson built towards folks that may be in that difficult position. All right. As we've done the last couple times when we start out with a decision, we want you to do a little bit of self-reflection. So if you filled up page 22 in your agenda, go to a piece of paper somewhere, any blank spot in your agenda. I know most of you guys don't use the calendar all the time, but find a spot to write, and we will need a spot for that's 6. This is 10, 10 questions, and you don't need to skip lines or anything. And homeroom teachers, if you need to pause me for a second, please, homeroom teachers, have these guys write them down, write their answers down so they can be reflective. All right. No right or wrong answer. Please answer honestly. We just want to see before we study and have these lessons about parents, where you at now, all right? Always good to be self-reflective. So, number 1, I have a good relationship with my parents. Just a basic statement. Remember, a 5 is like we are the best. We're homies. We share everything. We're really close. 1 is things are not going well, okay? So whatever you want to put, somewhere in between, maybe just 3, it's okay. I know that maybe one parent is a better relationship than the other, so I guess maybe average them. Okay, so take it as a whole, a collective, the adults at home, how are you doing with them? Okay, are you respectful towards them? And I always wondered when I was writing this what your answer would be as opposed to what your parents' answer would be. So do you show your parents respect consistently? Heck yes, 5. No way, lower, 1. Do your parents trust you? Have you given them reason not to? Okay, and I wonder what you do with that trust. So very basic, do they trust you? And 4, I frequently help out my parents without being asked. Frequently is often, right? So do you have to be told and told again to do something, or do you just hop in and help out? All right. I'll give you just a second. So remember, just next to 1, you write your number. Pretty self-explanatory. Number 3, number 4. Okay. Oh man, I wish sometimes I was in person with you guys because I could say, everybody ready? But moving on. 5. This is, do you know a lot about your parents, or are they just kind of the guy or girl who's always talking at you? Okay. Do you know what they like, they dislike? What are their dreams and values? Well, who they are on the inside? Do you know a lot about them? Or do you like, I don't know. Okay. Did they go to college? If so, where? Did they date people before your mom or dad? That'd be funny to ask them sometimes. What were they like in high school? Okay. Do they have any ambitions even now? What would they like to be? They're grown up, but would they like to do anything else? Okay. So how much do you know about them? 5, 4, 3, something like that. 6, do they know a lot about you, or is there some secretive nature going on here? Okay. Do you act like one thing at home and different elsewhere? Looking back on my own experience in middle school and high school, my parents at that time, and it was just my mom through most of that, she knew aspects of me, but some stuff was hidden, and that wasn't, in hindsight, very, very healthy. If you're hiding something from your parent, it means it's probably wrong. Okay, and number 7, my parents and I communicate well with each other. Kind of an off tick of 6, right? If there's, if they really need something for you, do they speak up? Do you, when you're upset, do you talk about them, your feelings with those folks? Okay, so how's the communication? Last couple. We, meaning myself and my parents, are pretty good at solving problems or conflicts. Or does a conflict devolve into a fight? Or we don't even solve the conflict, we just avoid it. Piggybacking on that a little bit, number 9, if and when we do fight or argue, my parents and I make up pretty quickly. None of these relationships are perfect, okay? There's going to be little bumps in the road. So this is asking you, does a little mini argument turn into like weeks and weeks of not talking to each other, okay? And honestly, number 10, can I say that I love my parents? And I think I would be able to have said 5 around your age, yeah, to one of my parents, maybe not the other one. I can honestly say I love my parents. All right, so look back over your scores, please, and add them up. So we're gonna do a little addition all the way down. Okay, maybe you could do that with a calculator. Maybe you don't have to. They're just single digits, right? So we're going. So looks like for 10 questions, the very highest that you could have is a 50. So if you have 40 to 50, remember Sean's metaphor for this is take the high road or the low road, and this will help you as you make those decisions. So if you're in the 40 to 50 range already, good job. That choice, the decision you make to value those relationships with your parents because they're just lifelong relationships, you've made that choice. Good for you. 30 to 39, you're doing all right. Okay, there's some aspects of your choice that are, on the high road, some on the low, but you need to make some choices. If you are from 29 below, these lessons, this chapter could be quite valuable for you. So even though you're not reading the book on your own, and if you're ever interested, let me know. Okay, we have just a few copies around. And he's writing directly to teens with lots of pictures, so it's not a bad read. But if you're in that range, maybe you're thinking it's my parents that need to change and I can't have these videos for them, but I do get a chance to teach you. All right. So thanks for listening today. Hopefully that wasn't too long. Hopefully I'll see you in person tomorrow. I know next week in pod for all the grades, I want to talk a little bit about what occurred today in the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. Today I didn't quite know what to say, but by next week I think we will. But for now, we'll end on this little funny quote from the dude, Mark Twain, author of Huck Finn, Tom Sawyer, a few others that I can't think of right now. Very funny, great author, one of the American greats. But he makes good points in the sort of covering of humor. So he's saying, when I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to be around him. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much he had learned in 7 years. So the joke here is the dad hasn't learned much, but the son has learned to appreciate them. And that totally was my experience. All the way through high school, yeah, mom, I didn't dislike her, but I didn't value that relationship. Then you go out to college, you're on your own, you start doing some of these responsibilities that they helped you with, and their advice, their contribution to your life suddenly seems a lot more important. So again, thanks for listening, guys. Hope you're well. Hope to see you in person tomorrow. And I'm excited to talk to you about how you can improve things with your parents at home. All right. Have a good one. See ya.